Hello friends, what's up? This is Ron here, and in today's King of Fighters All-Star video, we are going to talk about the very colossal guild boss. And before the addition of the Inferno mood, netmarble actually added this guild boss right here, as you can see, and probably you play these guys every day. And you should do it because by gaining certain points, you will be able to get these guild boss challenge mystery coins, that is these coins right here. And with these coins you'll be able to buy this box, and this box actually has a bunch of very useful rewards. Now the thing is, of course, this is RNG, but of course usually you will be ending up getting some of these valuable hammers right here. I get it almost every time when I open a bunch of boxes. And these cards right here, this card can actually help you a lot when you are going to transcend your face cards. So you don't have to destroy your valuable face cards. You can just use these face cards in order to transcend your any sort of face cards. So this is extremely useful, and the RNG about this item is kind of good, I think. But these are the not main items. The main items that you wanted to get from these boss and these boxes, this is the double attack imprint stones. And as you can see, there's a bunch of boxes out here. And honestly, previously I thought that the RNG is pretty much crap and you will not be able to get anything out of it. But honestly, it is possible to get double attack imprint stones. And let me show you my imprint stone inventory and share what I got. In the moonstone department, I actually got this imprint stone. This is a bleeding double attack imprint stone for green fighters and attack type fighters. So any attack type fighters will be able to use this imprint stone, and this is going to enhance his attack by a whooping 22%. And if the character has bleeding damage, then wow, that is going to be freaking amazing. So I got this stone from that very colossal boxes. And there is another stone, by the way. I can show you this one right here. This one is also a double attack imprint stone, also applicable for double attack type fighters, and it is going to increase starlight damage by a certain percent. So any green character who is an attack type character, he will be able to use this imprint stone. Unfortunately, I don't really have much strong green attack type fighters. All I have is defense nameless, so I cannot use these stones right now. But definitely in future, when there will be green attack type fighters, these stones, any of them, will be going to be really useful for me. And these are not even all that. Let me go to the star division, and I got a great stone right here. And this one is for balanced type fighters, and this is a double attack imprint stone. So once again, I'm not really willing to. I can just add it to my BS Ignis, of course, but I just decided to keep it because maybe in future I'll be having strong characters, so I can actually use them. So my point is, even though this boss fight might seem a bit hard, or sometimes it may be a bit boring too, because the boss actually just does nothing, just stand still, and all you have to do is to do some damages and get some beating. But the thing is, these boxes or the rewards can be really amazing, and if you continue to play and if you get a bunch of boxes, then definitely you'll be able to get these rewards. I mean, I actually showed you my rewards, and I showed you that playing this boss can be really effective. Now one thing you have to keep in mind, that this is not a one-man job. This boss, or playing against this boss, or getting a good score, getting a good number of coins, all depends on your entire guild. Each and every member of your guild should contribute and play against this boss on a daily basis, and no one should miss this fight in any single day. And as you can see, in my guild, we're just on tier 17 already. In this installation, just 1 hour and 32 minutes remaining while I am recording this video, but we got 17th tier on this season, which is of course I think good. And the higher you go, the more amount of coins you will be getting every day. So that will allow you to purchase more of those boxes from those exchange shop. I mean these boxes right here. So the more amount of coins you get, more boxes you get, more boxes you open, the higher will be the chance for you to get those double attack impeding stones, which will make your character immensely strong. And that makes a big difference, my friends. And as I said that it is not a one-man job. Each and every member of your guild should contribute. And let me just show you one thing, that my guild is currently on rank number 2, that is a global rank. And I am really happy to see, and I would love to share this thing with you, because we were previously doing on the 3rd rank, but now we are on the 2nd rank. So I'm really proud of my guild, and thank you to my all guild members who are actually playing hard against this boss. And it doesn't matter wherever you are, in which guild you are, you should encourage your team members to play against this boss. If they are not playing against this boss, then definitely you alone cannot do good at all. So either you have to make them play, encourage them, or you need to maybe find a better guild, because these boss will be here all the way and the rewards will be here all the way. All you need to do is to get more boxes, more coins, and for this you need to have higher ranks. Now let's talk about some team combinations, and I'll of course show you a gameplay at this tier number 17, and I'll show you how to get a considerably a good rank, not the best of course. And for this you guys know that you need to set a guardian. Now the thing is there is 3 guardians, but only Kyo Kusanagi and Yori Yagami are the 2 great guardians, and 2 of these guardians are actually suitable for 2 type of fighters. If you have great damage dealing fighters in your roster, then I would suggest you to select Yori Yagami as a guardian, because his guardian skill will actually increase all fighters attack by 20%. So he himself actually does a very little damage. Whenever he does his job as a guardian, he deals about 6 or 7 million, I say, but he will immensely buff your other fighters who will actually do the main damage against the boss. So if you have a strong team, then use Yori Yagami as the guardian. But instead, if you don't have a very strong meta team, such as for example you don't have great characters like SS Terry or maybe BS Nameless or these sort of high damage dealing characters, if you just have average damage dealing characters, then I would suggest you to select Kyo Kusanagi as your guardian, because Kyo Kusanagi himself does about 106 million damage as a guardian. Now think about the difference. Yori Yagami is doing 7 million and Kyo Kusanagi is dealing 106 million or something. So the Kyo Kusanagi himself will carry you a long way, and all you need to do is just to do as much as damage possible with your other characters. Now since I have kind of strong fighters in my department, so I'll be using Yori Yagami as my guardian. Now here is the team that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use BS Ignis as a leader, and I'm going to use SS Terry and BS Nameless, and with the guardian Yori Yagami. And the reason I'm using BS Nameless is because he has a very amazing leadership. His leadership actually buffs all the all-star fighters, attack by 55% and decrease HP by 5%. Now by all-star means all BS, SS, collab, all face fighters, all fighters, basically all-star. They are considered as all-star, and BS Ignis is going to buff all of their attacks by 55%, which is very good. And the reason I cannot use BS Ash, because BS Ash actually provides a more higher attack as a leader, but he will not buff Terry. So that is a weak point. That is why I cannot use BS Ash, and BS Ignis is a great leader considering that points. So always try to use a universal leader who is going to buff all your fighters. So let me share you what are the other possible leaders that you can use in the game. I would say if you are using entirely a boss syndrome team, then BS Ash is going to be the best leader for you because he is going to increase boss syndrome fighters attack by 60%. That is massive. But there is a condition that all of your fighters must have to be boss syndrome fighters. But if you are using an SS fighter, then I would say SSQ. He is going to be the best leader for your SS team. For example, if you are having a bunch of collaboration characters or any SS characters, and if you are forming an SS team, which is also can be really amazing, then definitely Kyo Kusanagi will be your guy as a leader because he is going to increase SS fighters attack by 60%. The best leader for any SS team. Now let's check and talk about what can be the other characters beside these guys. And as a leader, as you say, I hope you understand already that you need to have a universal leader, and the other two guys will be your main damage dealer. Now the reason why I am saying that the other two guys, because at least one of these characters you need to use as a fodder. That means you need to sacrifice him, and of course you need to sacrifice that character who is usually not doing much damage but still useful in the team anyways. And I would say BS Ignis is kind of useful in that sense because he himself is a great leader, but he himself is not able to do a very high amount of damage. Though he is buffing these two characters, but his damage is kind of low. So I am kind of using him as a fodder. That means I'm going to sacrifice him whenever the boss or the very Colossal does his stun thing or blasts everything, and I'll just tagging him in the game right then when he does his blast thing, and I'll take the damage. Now the thing is, how should I save him when I'm going to take the damage? And probably in my earlier videos I told about this card set right here. This amazing good old Arcane set that has a special feature, that is it becomes immune to damage for 2 seconds if HP is 1% or less. Like whenever the boss is going to hit my BS Ignis, whenever his HP will be coming all the way down to 1%, he will not die because of this card set. He will survive for 2 seconds. But the thing is, if I tag him out right then, he will survive. He will just remain alive and I will be able to tag him once again. And of course, I will be showing you in the gameplay and you will be understanding those things in real time. So the main idea is form your team in a way that first you need to select a good leader, then you need to select a fodder or whom you are going to sacrifice, and you should keep other two characters alive and do great damages with them. And as you can see, I am using Terry and Nameless for my damage dealing. And let's see what are other great characters in the game who can do well. For example, as I said, that SSQ, he's going to be a leader. And if you are using an SS team, you can actually use SSQ as a fodder as well, because his damage is kind of low, but his leadership is definitely going to buff all the SS fighters in the game. Now let's see what can be the other fighters. For example, let's say fighters who has certain abilities like immunity to stun, or has some good defense mechanism, immunity in their core, immunity, any sort of immunity is going to be really helpful. And in this case I am using Terry because Terry has immunity, Terry has shield, and he actually doesn't die very easily because of his immunity. Also, let's see what other characters are out there. I would say this guy right here. Soul Bad Guy is going to be a very good and useful character in the game against that boss if you don't have other damage dealing options, because his damage is kind of very high. He deals a very good amount of damage, but most importantly, his survivability is very good and he doesn't die instantly. Of course, he will not be able to survive the blow of the boss, but if you can use the Arcane set with him, you can actually keep him alive. And of course, as you guys know that high damage dealing characters like, let's just say BS Ash right here, he is going to be really well. And also characters like BS Ignis, BS Ganis, BS Ganis is also going to be very useful if you can use him in a good way, maybe probably under a good leadership. And maybe though his damage is not going to be very high and he's kind of a glass cannon, but still he can be a useful team member. Also, the new buffed up Rugal can be a good option, and he has an interesting core right here, and he is kind of immune to stun. As you can see, he is immune to stun and fear, and he deals bleeding as a core dot. And due to this immunity to stun, he will do good against this boss. But of course, you have to keep him alive, and that's why you need to tag in and tag out, of course, Rugal, in order to keep him safe. Also, good old Leona right here, very high damage dealing character, and she will definitely do well against this boss. She has a good amount of survivability. Of course, she will not survive the final blow, but she will do really amazing. Also, this character right here, SS Baiken from the Guilty Gear collaboration, she has some immunity in her core, and she actually becomes immune to she has a 30% chance to get immunity for 3 seconds. Now the 30% chance is kind of low, of course, and but sometimes if you don't have any other alternatives, then she can be useful to some extent. And of course, SS Dizzy, though Dizzy doesn't really have any sort of immunity in her core or anywhere, but she actually deals a very high amount of damage, so you can actually use her as a damage dealer. But if you ask me about the best character against this boss, I would say Blue Mary right here. She is freaking amazing. And she is amazing for more than one reason. First of all, she's the latest SS character in the game, and she deals a huge amount of damage, and besides she has a great core that is actually makes her immune to both stun and shock. So becoming immune to stun, once again, going to be very useful. And also another core right here, that is the freelancer agent, that is activating stun fang, because she's not going to be able to grab the boss, and whenever she's unable to grab, she will be able to do 350% of shock damage to the boss. So in this way, this character actually deals a huge amount of damage against that boss, and I have actually seen people doing solo runs using her. So that is kind of insane, my friends. But as you can see, I just have this character. I don't even have any of her memories. She just barely leveled on level 30. So I am in no way I'll be able to use her. So definitely I will have to form this team with another great character, that is SS Terry. And this SS Terry, I would say the best or the second best, or maybe SS Terry and SS Mary both are equally best characters against this boss. And of course, as the latest SS character, this guy deals a ton of damage against any boss. And of course, he has a decent core right here, and he has also this ability of immunity to stun, as long as also with burn as well. But we don't have to worry about burn. He is immune to stun, and that allows him to survive against this boss for a long time, and he can actually get his survivability ongoing even after getting hit by the boss. He will not die very easily. So this is a great character, and I would say Blue Mary. and SS Terry both are top tier characters against this boss. So I'm going to use Terry, and let's now talk about the card sets. And first of all, I'm going to talk about the card set of Ignis. And as I am using him as a fodder, so definitely I'm going to use this Arcanist set with Ignis. And though I can use any other set cards, but that will not give me the survivability what that Arcanist set can give me. So definitely I'm going to use this Arcanist set with him, and I'm just using these two cooldown reduction boss syndrome option cards. Of course, this boss syndrome card is going to increase attack by 13% for 5 seconds, and this is going to be somewhat helpful because whenever I'm just going to tag him in, I'll just do a couple of more hits, and that will give me some attack, though this character is very low in his attacks. Now let's talk about the card set of SS Terry, and of course I am going to use this 7 Deadly Sins set card, and this set card is the best set card for SS Terry because SS Terry has Starlight, and he deals Starlight from the core, and he also has Starlight dot explosion, and that is another reason why his damage is really high. And of course you will see in the gameplay that he is able to do a huge number of damage with this card set. And this card set actually increases the Starlight and chill damage by 75%, which is freaking amazing. And of course along with the active skill damage by 23% solid, and there is no cooldown, no nothing right here. And I really miss those good old days when the game actually provided this sort of sets. See, I got this set from the 7 Deadly Sin collaboration, and I can use this set in the latest SS character like SS Terry, and maybe in any other future chill and Starlight dealing characters. Can you imagine the versatility of this set? And nowadays we are having sets like Dead or Alive collaboration, or maybe Guilty Gear collaboration, but those sets are only limited to those characters only. I mean, that sucks, honestly. That really sucks, and I wish Netmarble can go back to these good old days whenever they provided great sets like Tekken set. For example, this set right here, also great set. I really miss those days, my friends. But this is going to be the best set card for Terry. And of course I'm going to use this normal option card, which is just going to reduce the cooldown, and I'll be just using this special signature option card, which is also as a bonus effect. It is going to increase attack by 13% for 5 seconds and grants super armor blah blah blah. But this extra 13% attack for 5 seconds is also going to be really helpful. Whenever I'm going to tag him in, he is going to get this attack buff. And for Nameless, I'll be using this good old Idol Cooler set, which is the best set for Nameless. I told you many times, and this is basically based on strike skill, and Nameless has a lot of strike skill, so this set is going to increase strike skill damage by 30% and a 50% chance to increase attack by 20% for 5 seconds upon landing a strike skill without any sort of cooldown. Freaking amazing set for any strike skill damage dealing character. And I'm going to use this boss syndrome option card right here. Nothing really special, of course, just getting some critical rate by 7%. And this boss syndrome card right here, which has a 50% chance to increase attack by 13% for 5 seconds upon landing a strike skill. So any character having strike skill in their disposal will get benefit from this card. Of course, this character has to be a boss syndrome character. Now my friends, I talked enough about these characters, the possible characters, the leaders, and cards and everything. And also I talked about the guardian selection. So go ahead and select your guardian and character and cards in the same way and as best as you can. So now let's go and check out the gameplay. I'll be sharing my gameplay with you, and I hope you will enjoy the gameplay and check out that what type of approach I took the gameplay in the gameplay, what type of approach I took. you will notice that I'll be hitting the boss until the clock turns out at 1 minute and 20 seconds, and during that time or around 1 minute and 20 seconds I'll be just switching to this guy right here, because around that 1 minute and 20-second time the boss will do the first explosion. So I don't if I keep Terry or if I keep Nameless at that time, they might die, but Ignis will not die because of his Arcane set. And the second explosion will occur around at 48 or 50th second. Whenever you will say there are 50 seconds remaining in the game, that time the boss will do the second explosion. So that time once again I will bring back Ignis once again. Of course, definitely he's going to die, but he will just survive the explosion, or this explosion will be just on him. So after the explosion I'll be bringing these two characters once again, any one of them, or tagging in, tagging out, so to do these damages. So enjoy the gameplay, my friends, and hope to see you guys soon in some other videos. Let me know if you have any sort of questions or inquiries about this game mode. I know this can be really confusing and hard, so let me know in the comments, and hope to see you guys soon in some other videos. Till then, stay awesome and peace out, my friends.
Ready, go! 何をしている俺は。残念だが。Let's go! 闇に散れ。